Good morning, Internet.
Gross.
Take two.
You want me to be serious? It's not gonna happen.
Alright, we'll just stand there and screwing. Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to the channel. So, welcome to the day one of the van conversion build. So today's goal is basically we're going to get the board stripped off, the van cleaned out, the beams lined for the flooring, installation installed, and hopefully boards back over the top. I would like, certainly within 24 hours anyway.
Nope.
Completely cleaned up and floor completely insulated. So let's crack on. I'll see you guys soon. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's alright. I don't need to know what I'm doing because my daughter has the answers to everything in life.
Absolutely.
Have we left the screw in? Could you not see it? Maybe you should open your eyes.
Sorry, can you see it?
Yes.
Where is it? Where is
Down
it?
there in the corner.
In the corner, where?
Yeah, just at the end of that.
At the end here?
No, there, right there. Now that's a quilt. Just in case you're wondering why I have a bag hanging from my ceiling, it's where I put a light for the night time because I couldn't find anywhere to hang it from at the time. I know it's a bit weird. Tell me half a line of lyrics from the Britney Spears song "Hit Me Baby One More Time" that doesn't include "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
Oh baby, baby, I want you to know.
And I know I still believe.
Not one.
I didn't think there was one in there. So we're back in the shops again because we realised that we hadn't got adhesive to fix the beams down for the flooring, and somehow we're now looking at lino, not adhesive.
Yeah, but you got to think about these things.
Okay, so thinking of weight, we're thinking not actually putting down a wooden floor, although I do think it would, I don't know, it would be good for the wear and tear, right? But other couple of options are lino or carpet. Carpet I think would be warm feeling and be cosy. Don't know about keeping it clean, getting in and out of the van. That's my only concern. Lino will be easy to clean and lightweight, and wood heavy but hard wearing and easy to clean.
Don't know when you think about it.
Or another alternative would be little flat pack panels. Personally, I think I'd rather fit them than lino. Oh, £9 a square metre. That's cheaper than the lino. What do you think, guys? I quite like that actually.
It's not bad.
And £9 a square metre, I'm really liking. Although the grey one is as well. Have to see what colours we go with. Maybe you want a wood
This
floor.
would feel warmer in terms of aesthetics.
Yeah, I think she's right. Wood's warmer than the grey look, right?
Yeah, but is it more stylish?
So now we've actually finally decided on the flooring for our van. Maybe we can now actually get back to adhesive, which is what we actually came here for.
Yeah.
I knew this would be an issue coming here. So, after flooring, washing lines, eye hooks, we finally get to sealant. Job done. There's always one screw, right? Always one. Do you know what's crazy? Just going back 4.5 months to when I started doing the channel and started doing all of this. How immobile I was. I mean, remember on my first video, I mean, when I sat down in front of the tent, I was barely even able to sit. I couldn't sit upright properly because my belly was too big. I couldn't kneel or sit with my legs tucked under because my knees were knackered. It's just mental. 4.5 months ago, and now I'm climbing around the inside of the van. I try not to kneel too much because my left knee is still not good. In fact, my left knee is bad. But it's just amazing. And for those that have been following this journey and for my health side and weight loss and everything else, just a bit of an update on the knee situation. So I actually got a phone call yesterday. And long story short, I'm going to be getting steroid injections in my left knee within the next 2 to 3 weeks, which is just amazing. I'm actually going back to see the same doctor that triggered all of this for me in the first place when he told me I needed to deal with my BMI and started me off on this journey. He was quite amazed when I told him where I was at and what I've been doing. And so he said that actually he would book me in to see him personally, because it would be 2-3 months time before I would get the injections. But he was so impressed with the effort I'd made that he's arranging for himself to do the injections for me, and he's going to fit me in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So that was really amazing. Somebody's looking out for me anyway. So yeah, just a thought anyway. I was just really amazed at the difference in my health and movement and mobility now. Starting to feel like the old me again. It is possible. It really is possible. And what? 5 months? Less than 5 months. Thanks guys. Let's crack on. Okay, so that's everything stripped off that I want to strip down for now. Got all the wood panels off. There are a couple of panels still left near the front, but that's only because they're around the second row of chairs area, and at the moment I'm not going to be doing that area. All the casing and tubing that hides all the wiring is off, because that's not going to be put back in place. So yeah, I think that's everything stripped. Floor's completely cleared. Let the cleaning begin.
Let your heart beat, let your heart beat, let your heart beat with me, with me.
turns out that's the battery for tonight. Okay, so it's been a longer day than I thought it was going to be. There was a lot more surface rust on the floor of this van than I was expecting, to be honest. It looks like whoever put the panels down on the floor before had already got some exposed surface from the paintwork being chipped off, etc. They've never dealt with it, so yeah, over time it's gotten down to it. Even though it's a 19 plate, yeah, it's got quite a bit of surface rust. Probably about halfway through now, so yeah, day turned out to be a lot longer dealing with this rust than I thought it was going to be. But not too bad, not too bad. I've now got an empty shell, blank canvas to work with, so yeah, looking forward to starting on the flooring, but a bit more cleaning, a bit more sanding to go yet. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the morning. So, day 2 begins. Good morning all. So I need to set a bit more realistic target today, I think. Yesterday wasn't quite realistic. I didn't fully comprehend how long it was going to take me to get everything stripped down from inside here. And then when I did, the amount of surface rust that actually was on the bottom of the van, and as I've started rubbing it down, I've come across more and more. It's not bad rust, it is just surface rust, but it needs dealing with before it gets really bad. There are a couple of little holes in it, but I think that's more where something's been drilled or screwed through into it that will get filled. But anyway, it needs to be a bit more realistic today. So my goal today is to finish getting all of this rubbed down and sanded down, primed and coated and treated against rust, and then everywhere else that needs tidying up I'm going to respray and just get it looking nice and clean and tidy in here before we get stuck onto the flooring, which I think will be tomorrow now. So tomorrow will be getting the beams down on the floor, getting the insulation in, getting the boards down on top, and maybe even start laying the floor as well. So that's the plan for today. Let's crack on. Right, so all rust patches have been sanded down and smoothed over now, and I've primed and coated them in paint as well now to protect all the rust from coming through again, but it hasn't taken long to get to my first hurdle. So for the flooring, my plan was that I would have 4 2x1 beams, 2 metre long beams going vertically, and supported in the middle with some 2x1s of the same length, and then I would have horizontal beams coming across in between, and then the square boxes, the sections in the middle, would be filled in with the insulation. Unfortunately, what I didn't realise when I was getting the wood was it's not straight. The wood is very curvy and bent and twisted. So I think what I'm going to have to do is to make a load of small cuts along the wood to get flexibility, so I can then place it back down and fix it down to the bottom of the van, and hopefully it should bend flat under pressure and then sit comfortably on the van. If not, it's a lot of wasted wood. So I guess it's time for the sawing montage. I'll see you soon. So, a bit of a change of plan yet again. Because the wood is so warped and bowed, they're even cutting the lines into it to try and give it some flex. There were so many kinks and bows in the wood that I just wasn't able to hold the full length of the wood down long enough to be able to make it set. So unfortunately, I have had to put some securing screws into the main beams. Now we're doing the cross members, and I've just got to cut out the shapes so that it fits over the ridges of the corrugation in the flooring, and then we should be ready to insulate. Let's crack on. Right, challenge number 2 that I've created this time. So for the main support beams for the flooring, I got 2x2s, 4 of them, the main supports, and then I've just got a 2x1 in the middle, just to give it extra support in the middle. So basically they're 50mm, and the polystyrene insulation is 50mm, but of course I forgot when I measured it that the flooring's corrugated. So putting the insulation on top of the corrugation means it's higher than the framework, which isn't going to do because then I'm going to have a lumpy and bumpy floor. So I'm actually having to cut them to shape to go into the sections, but before I put them in, I'm then having to cut down or cut a slither off the back of the section so that it fits in place. What a ball ache. A little mistake, but the framework's nice and solid now. That's all set, which is really good, and all the cross members as well. So at least we are getting to get the insulation in. So let's crack on with the insulation. So I've decided against cutting the sliver off the back of every panel and getting it level with the boards because it's just taking forever and it's a massive ball ache. So I'm actually going to slot all of these in, which does mean where the beams are, there's going to be like 5mm lower. But when the boards are over the top of it, we're going to see with the boards on top whether you can actually feel any difference with the 5mm lower beams. So we'll just have to see. Hi guys, so hopefully the final day on installing the floor. We should certainly get the boards on today, and yeah, I think I'll be laying the floor by this evening. So but just a quick update. So just a quick update. So the main issue I had, as I explained before, was I made a very noob error. So yeah, that made a bit of a mess. However, I have discovered that if you lay a 2x1 on top of it, you actually get a perfect snug fit. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run a piece of 2x1 over the top of it and fix that down to it as well, and then we should have a nice flat surface for putting the board on, and hopefully then fixing the flooring down to. So yeah, crisis averted, I think. On to the next drama. I'll see you soon. Finally, so 4 days of work to do what I thought was going to take 1 day, but we finally have a floor down, insulated, boarded on top. Now I have got a little bit at the front here that I need to build up from where it's had some previous accident or rear end, so it's dipped here, so I'm going to need to build some wood up underneath and make that solid, just on the very end here, but the rest of it is nice and solid, all the way back as far as we're going to be converting for now. So there's enough room, enough length to be able to get the shower in, and then to get the bed and garage and everything in. So yeah, next step is flooring, but I think that'll be in the next video. So the next video will be getting the flooring down on top of the boards, getting all the walls framed out, and hopefully getting all the walls insulated as well, and ready to move on to the ceiling. Thanks very much for watching, really appreciate it. If you did like the video, please give us a quick thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really does help the channel grow and it means a lot to us. So thanks very much everybody, and as always, have a beautiful day.